A very good morning to all the students of class 11th political science. And students, welcome back to the online classes here. As we were doing the second book of syllabus, that is political theory, and in the last video I had finished your fifth chapter, that was rights. And today we are going to begin your last chapter of your syllabus, that is development. This is the number 10 chapter of your NCERT book, as chapter number 6, 7, 8 has been deleted from your syllabus for this particular session by the CBSE. So we are going to cover the last chapter for this session, that is development. This is chapter number 10 of your NCERT book. So before I start this topic, let's understand this simple meaning of development. Although this is a very broad term, and we know the meaning of development and we understand development in a very narrow sense. That is the content of this chapter, that we will try and understand what are the problems coming up when we think about development in a very narrow way. As in our everyday life we hear this term a lot, and just now also if I am telling this word development, so there are various different images we will find in our minds. If there are 24 students, there can be around 12 to 15 different pictures in the minds of different students when we talk about development. Some will say that it's all about constructing good hospitals, some will focus on roads, some will talk about good institutions, schools, some will talk about dams. Okay, so these are some of the different aspects of development. So basically in a common layman's language we understand development in terms of physical growth. So in this chapter we'll try to cover this topic. But if I talk about a simple definition of development, as you have been studying it in class 9th, 10th, these have been topics, and in 11th you are studying here, and in class 12th also this topic is going to be an important element in your syllabus. So if I talk about development, so development is a process that creates growth, progress, and we can say it brings positive change, or we can say a additional attitude in the physical, economic, environmental, social, and demographic components. So whenever we talk about the growth and development and progress in terms of physical atmosphere, economic growth, environmental growth, social and demographic components, we call it development. And also the process of creating something more advanced. If we create something more advanced, something becoming bigger, stronger, better, so we relate to that, the development. Basically we don't directly tell that it is development, but we relate these things as development. So in this chapter, that is chapter number 10, development, before I start the proper topics of this chapter, we'll try and understand the introduction. And the introduction of this chapter is going to be very important to understand this topic, as it is going to be a bit different. If we talk about class 9th and 10th, here the content is a bit different. Okay, so let's start the introduction of this chapter. So let's start the introduction of the chapter, that is development. So we'll start this topic by understanding a simple example from our classrooms, from our school, so that you can relate this example with understanding of the concept development. It is going to be a very similar. So we'll try and understand with the help of an example. So it is given in your NCERT book. Suppose in a school, each class brings out an annual class magazine. So they are saying, suppose we are talking about our school, and we have an activity in our school where each class, every class has to prepare an annual class magazine. Suppose this is an extracurricular activity in a school where every class, and there is a competition where every class has to create an annual class magazine. As you must have seen, there is a school magazine, and in school magazine you find all the activities which are being performed throughout the year in terms of academics, sports, extracurricular activities, poems, drawings, message of the principal, different class teachers, different poems written by students, and a drawing made by the students, the various competitions. So everything is mentioned. Our annual report is there if you talk about the magazine of the school. But here we are talking about the class magazine. So every class has to create a magazine, like it's a extracurricular activity. So if we are not talking about any school, suppose we are talking about our own school. in one class, the teacher, so we are thinking that how they are going to prepare the class magazine. So we are taking the example of one class. Suppose in one class the teacher takes the last year's magazine as a model. So one teacher in a class teacher will bring the magazine of the last year of the school or the class, and he will present that magazine to the students in a form of a model. That is, the teacher will bring the old magazine in the class, and he or she will show it to the student that okay, this is a structure, this is the model, that on this model we have to create our magazine, that on which page sports will be represented, on which page poems will be printed, on which page message of the class teacher or the principal will be there, on which page pictures will be there. So all will be done according to the last year's magazine model. So we'll make plans for what this year magazine should contain in terms of topics. So according to this model, we will be planning that what and how the content will be put in terms of topic, articles, poetry, etc., and then divide and assign topics to different students. And once we will decide the model, and after that the teacher will assign various topics, various activities to the students, himself or herself. Okay, it is possible that as a result a student interested in cricket, so there can be a case that any student who is interested in cricket, he has a good knowledge of cricket, he is given the topic to write on any other dramas, plays, or he has given a topic to draw some drawing. So or write on the coronavirus or other topics, to write about the economy of our country. So his interest was into cricket, but he has been given a topic which is not of his interest. And a person who wanted to write on the topic coronavirus or of the economy, or wanted to draw something, he has given some other topic. It means the topics have been divided in such a way where the interest of the child is not considered at all. Okay, so what will happen, see, may find that she has a result, a student interested in cricket may find that she has been allotted a different topic, and one who has been allotted cricket is actually keen to write a play. It is also possible that in this scheme, three students may want to get together to work, and there can also be a situation in a class where a three student or a four student wanted to perform something and do some activity in a group which is going to be very productive, as they are very comfortable and they have good communications with each other. They live very close to house to each other, they are neighbors, but that is also not considered by the teacher. So all are given some different topics. In another class, okay, this is a situation of one class where teacher is himself or herself giving and assigning the topics and activities to the children, and their activities and their personal interest or their skills are not assessed at all, not considered at all. But if we talk about the other class, what is going on in the other class, let's see. In another class, however, the content of the magazine is debated by the students. In the other class, the how the magazine is going to be presented, how the magazine is to be created, a lot of debate is going on amongst the students. Here students are deciding themselves what type of magazine a class should have, what is the model, what should be the model of the magazine, which topic a student should do. It means personal interest, personal skills of students are assessed here, and teacher is allowing the students to do and perform the activities according to their interest and will. There are many disagreements, there will be many disagreements, but eventually a plan for a magazine emerges about which all are in agreement. But finally, after a debate, there will be a situation where everyone will be in agreement that okay, these are the topics which these students will be doing. Different responsibilities will be given to different students if for the preparing of the class magazine. So these are the situations put forward for you of the two different classes. So we are seeing the two different models put by the class teacher, in which one, the class teacher is acting like a dictator, where he is giving the topics and all the activities, all the responsibilities to the students himself. He is not assessing or considering the interest, skills, or capabilities of the students. On the other hand, the other class teacher has given a free hand to the students, where with their own choice they have decided the content of the magazine. They have finally come into a point of agreement that how the magazine is going to be. So this is the situation of a class if we talk about an activity. Moving forward, let's see. In your opinion, now after understanding these situations of the class, in your opinion, which class will come up with a magazine in which the student get to realize their particular interest? So it is very clear. Class number 2, that is the second class where the teacher had given the opportunity to the students to discuss out the plans to create a magazine. That class is definitely going to bring out a productive magazine, a good magazine, because in the previous class the personal interest and skills of the children were not considered. On the other hand, so they will not be able to give a productive output of the topics, as a person not interested into cricket has to write a topic on cricket, so there is going to be a problem. But on the other hand, in the other class, clear opportunities were given to the students. So in that class, let's see, in your opinion, which class will come up with a magazine in which the student get to realize their particular interest in the best possible manner? This is a question to you, and it is very much clear. The second class, all the students will come out with a very good positive result in terms of a good magazine. The first, if you talk about the first class, I have explained you this, but I'm reading it. The first class may produce a good looking magazine, but will the content be engrossing? Okay, they will anyhow, it's a task, they will make a good magazine, but it is not going to be a very good magazine. Will the person who wanted to write on cricket write with the equal passion on her assignment topic? Which magazine will be seen as unique and which as standard? So you can see which will be seen as unique, which is be just standard. Which class will feel that working on a magazine was interesting? So which class is going to enjoy and working on the magazine, and which class is just going to perform these activities as just a homework, routine homework, and it is not going to be productive? So you can very clearly understand, in a class where the class teacher gave opportunities to the student to perform according to their skills, capabilities and capacities, that class is going to perform very well. They will be very interested, student will perform in a productive manner. Okay, so we can understand that. So after understanding these two examples, now we will relate this example to our society and to development, that what model of development should be accepted, should be promoted, and how. You can see here, for a society deciding about what constitutes development, if a society has to decide what should be the model of development in a society, is a bit like students. It is same like students were deciding about what kind of school magazine they want and how they should work on it. Like students were given the topic, sorry, a activity where they had to decide and create a school magazine. And also we have seen the models were different, where class teachers had different roles in the different classes. In the same way, in our society also, let's see how do we decide the content and constitutes of the development. We could mechanically follow a model which has been previously used in our own or the other countries. When we talk about development, directly we can copy or follow the models of the other countries or already existing in our country. We can say, okay, America is following this model, this method, this structure of the development in their country, so we can directly copy paste that model of development into our society and we can follow it. But it's the other part of the story, it will be successful or it will be a failure, that is the other part of the story. So we are trying to understand here. Or we could plan keeping in mind the good of the society as a whole, or we will not copy. The next option is, we are not going to pick up the model of the other country of or our country or the previous year's plan, but we are going to create a model of development by keeping in mind good for society. We will have such a development where everyone, there is a common good for everyone, every individual is benefited by that developmental model as a whole, well as rights of the people whose lives may be directly affected by the development projects. And we also have to see that basic rights, fundamental rights of the people should not be violated by the developmental project or the developmental model. The leaders can either concentrate on implementing plans regardless of protest, or they can proceed democratically, carrying the people with them. So when we are talking about the developmental model and the society about the people, so there are two choices. when the government or the leaders, they have the choice, they will implement the developmental model. They will not care about that people are protesting, people are supporting, or people are opposing it. But and the other method can be that they will proceed democratically. Democratically means they will see, consider the views, ideas, and desires of each and every individual of the society. They will think about the common good of the society, and they will think also, that is why democratically word has been used, carrying the people with them. It means the people will be with a particular developmental model. It will not be enforced by the government, but according to the will of the government, that particular model will be implemented. So there can be two methods, as in we have seen in the case of class, in which one class teacher was just like a dictator, assigning the activities to the student. In the other, we saw a teacher acting democratically, where students were given their personal choice. In the same way, in the society also, there are two methods of implementing developmental models. In the broadest sense, the term development conveys the idea of improvement. Whenever we talk about the broad, it is a very broad term, development. But in the common man's language, and we use it and we hear this term so much that we are treating this term development in a very narrow way. But if you see the broad meaning of development, is conveys the ideas of improvement, progress, well-being, and aspiration for better life. So this is the meaning, the idea which conveys from the term development. Though its notion of development, a society articulates what constitutes its vision of the society as a whole, and who how best to achieve. So how to achieve the best for the society, it is all about the broad sense of the term development. But let's how see, but if we see practically, okay, so now if we see practically, however, the term development is also often used in a narrow sense, but mostly often you will see in the society we use this term development in a very narrow sense to refer to more limited goals such as increasing the rate of economic growth, modernizing the society. Okay, development. So we the pre-decided targets. When we achieve the pre-decided targets, we call it development. And this is a narrow sense or narrow meaning of the development. Development doesn't just mean to fulfill the limited goals or just increase the rate of economic growth. Like we say we want to have the GDP as high as US, we want to achieve that target, or we have to modernize our society like China, Japan, or US, okay, Russia. So these goals and aims are not all about development. That is why, in a narrow meaning, we think that development is all about achieving these goals. Development has unfortunately often come to be identified with achieving preset targets. Unfortunately, now we have been relating and linking development in with preset targets. When we have some preset targets, we think that we have achieved everything. Or completing projects, like if we have completed a project of like dam, factories, roads, hospitals, schools, we think that we are into the path of development. But this is a narrow meaning of development, rather than the realizing the broader vision. But if we see the broader vision of the development which the society upholds, in the process, some sections of the society may be benefited while others may have to suffer. When we are into the process of development, according to the narrow sense of development, in that case, many section or some section of the society may be benefited from the development, while some part of the society or some section of the society is going to suffer loss of their homes or lands, ways of life, without any compensatory gains. When we will look into the development, or we'll just try to fulfill the pre-decided targets like making roads, rivers, dams, etc. So in that case, definitely some part of the society will be benefited, but some people are going to suffer a lot. Like when we construct dams, in that case many people are we can say shifted from one place to another. Their homes are lost, their culture is lost. Okay, so in that case we can say some people suffer. because we are looking into development in a narrower vision. Although we should have the broader vision of the development, in that we look good for all the society, the whole society. No one is going to suffer. Issues such as whether the rights of the people have been respected in the course of development, whether the benefits and burdens of the development have been justly distributed. So, issues such as, there are some issues relating to development, and these issues are whether the rights of the people have been respected. Are the rights of the people respected when we are going through the developmental process? We are constructing various developmental models. We have to keep in mind the basic common fundamental rights of the people are not being violated. We have to keep that in mind. Whether the benefit and burdens of the development being justly distributed. Are the benefits are given to benefits of any developmental project are given to each and everyone, it is justly distributed or not. Whether the decision regarding development priorities have been democratically made. When we talk about the decision, like we have seen the example of class also, is the decision of the various developmental projects being done democratically according to the will of the people, have been raised in many countries. Hence, development has become the subject of considerable controversy. So, in the current scenario, if we talk about the development, it has become a subject of considerable controversies today. Whenever we talk about any developmental project, any developmental model, we see lot of debates and discussions and controversies regarding that particular models or developmental projects. Because the reason being, we have seen that we are following the narrow sense of meaning of development. The model of development which have been adopted in different countries have become the subject of debate and criticism, and alternative models have been put forward. The models which the countries have been following are very much criticized, and in place of them alternative models have been put forward. In such a situation, the broader understanding of development can serve as a, so it becomes very important that today we realize that it is very important to have the broader understanding of the development, because we just have in our mind the narrow meaning of development. We have to understand the broader meaning. Understanding of development can serve as a standard, and it can serve as a standard by which the development experience of a country is examined. Okay, so this was all about the introduction to the topic development. In the next video we are going to study this further. Till then, take care. Thank you.